Hey everyone, this is Pine Grove News Live from the East Coast. It's 6:01 p.m. here. And yeah, it's December 5th. Yeah, I don't know, typical day, I guess. You know, sun was out, got a little warmer, late morning, early afternoon. Typical fall to winter weather. Yeah, so we'll get into the news right away. I got something at the end of this broadcast, a little message to a Christian artist out there who supposedly, sings Christian music. And I don't know, I just got I got a message for her. And I'll leave that at the end of the news. It's not news. News about what she's claiming, to be a Christian, or maybe she's not claiming that. All right, so let's get started and go right to these earthquakes. Okay, there were three of them, and first let's go to this one. Okay, let's go to this one, and because I've got a list of all the tsunami warnings, and it does not say anything about a tsunami. But that's from the USGS now, who knowingly goes and downgrades and manipulates data. Okay, so much for that. I hear from Strange Sounds, okay, and their headline is bang, bang, bang. 7.5, 6.0, and a 6.6 earthquakes hit off New Caledonia within 3 hours. And supposedly, small tsunami was observed. Yeah, remember this? This is Vanuatu up here, where we see a lot of earthquakes. We see a lot of earthquakes in this area, right along this fault line. Okay, so 3 big ones. And like they said, within 30 minutes. So now we got Alaska all the way up there at the top. Okay, and now all the way at the bottom, we got. So what's going on, man? Top to bottom. So where's east and west? What's going to happen there? Big ones, man. Okay, so yeah, I've already subscribed. We'll go to this one, southeast of the Loyalty Islands, and I'll just bring you to the USGS. New Caledonia. You could see the time here, okay? 6:43, and here are the tsunami listings. At least it was here. Okay, here they are. Let me just go back here and just stop this so I don't have any problems with things loading and unloading. So, yeah, we'll get rid of this one too. See? Okay. I believe it's down here. Based on all available data, okay? There is no tsunami threat from this earthquake. Okay. This one from the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center. See. Pretty sure I read that there was no tsunami warning. Based on the data, a destructive Pacific-wide tsunami is not expected. See, every time I read that, I think that they're going to say it is one, but it's not expected, and there is no tsunami threat to Hawaii. Okay, that was for Hawaii. I think they have like 4 or 5 different warning systems for different areas. This is the 7.0. First of all, they downgraded it to a 7.0. Okay, so that's the first thing. No tsunami impacts are expected. No action is required. There is no threat to America Samoa from this earthquake. And this one, Saipan or Saipan from this earthquake. no tsunami threat. And this last one from, let's see, U.S. West Coast, British Columbia, or Alaska. Tsunami information statement. There is no tsunami danger for the U.S. West Coast, British Columbia, or Alaska. So there you have it. Okay, and this was the 6.0. You don't have the data. I just wanted to draw up, let you see the picture. This one was labeled a 7.5. But when you go look at the tsunami warning, well, the no threat warning, it was downgraded to a 7.0. So they are really messed up. There's got to be somebody else that we can get this information from. So, all right, well, let's get rid of this stuff so I can, well, things are running smooth today anyway, but yeah, you could just go there and get all this yourself over at the USGS. And so, let's go on to other news. Let me get rid of maybe. From RT. Yeah, I don't know why it's buffering for me. I mean, I know it's live YouTube channel, but it's buffering for me. I don't get that. Let's back up there now. So Paris abandons the fuel tax hike, okay, after those riots, after the sweeping protests from the French Prime Minister. So the French government says it has dropped the fuel tax hike plan that has sparked massive yellow vest protests and eventually got suspended with a half-year moratorium Tuesday, at least for the 2019 budget anyway. Yeah, they're trying that anywhere, and it's not. I know they're calling it tax hikes, but it's a cover for other things, and they're saying it's a cover for the global warming people. You know, I don't get it. Maybe you'll buy less if the price is higher, and you know, less fossil fuel or CO2 in the air. Whatever. You know, we need CO2, people. We do. The plants. We don't. The plants. The trees, you know, those things, they need CO2. We talked about this the last time. But don't panic that there's all kinds of excess CO2 in the atmosphere. Yes, some of these earthquakes are volcanoes are releasing this stuff. Yeah, that you might have to be aware of. That might be, you know, dangerous in the present tense. I mean, once it, you know, comes out and starts dissipating, then you don't have to worry about it. But it goes up, 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 goes up, up, up. Once it's up there, we can't, you know, we don't breathe it anymore. You know, plants and the trees and the green things, they release all the oxygen that we need after they've taken in the CO2. Okay, so you see these happy faces right here? Isn't that precious? Tickets to Bill and Hillary's live Houston show sink lower. And now at $6 a pop, the price of a Big Mac meal. Okay, I don't know where, I guess this is in Houston, that you can buy a Big Mac meal for $6. But here in Connecticut, it's more closer to $9. It is. Big Mac meal. Of course, you know, you can get a medium or a large meal. Of course, the larger meal will probably cost you closer to 10. I did go to McDonald's, and I stated over the summer that I was not going there because of some stuff that was found in as a preservative, what they were using in their rolls, that Subway thing, you know. So I boycotted them, but I don't really like McDonald's. But for some reason, it was convenient, and you know, I do remember, you know, eating that at one time during my life. So I went and bought it and brought it home for dinner, and I prayed over my food, especially McDonald's. But anyways, I don't know where the heck I'm going with that. But anyway, President Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton are coming to Sugar Land. That was yesterday. This happened yesterday. Didn't do the news yesterday, but this happened yesterday. So tickets were originally listed $29.50 to $399. You see how happy they are? See how happy they are? Now look at them. It's different incidents, different times, people. I'm just playing, games with the video, the pictures. Yeah, they look so much older and not too happy. This might even been the inauguration for President Trump. That's why they're looking like that. But yeah, I mean, she, at least I've heard, she used to get a lot of money. But I also heard that the Clinton Foundation is under investigation and/or assets are frozen. So who knows? And I've also heard the reemergence of the Panama Papers. The place, the banks in Panama where people have been putting their money and laundering their money. Yeah, that has reemerged. That's out there again. Somebody is being indicted for that. A few people. I don't think I picked it up. But anyways, you remember I was telling you about the the HIV. What do you call that? I mean, this baby was genetically engineered, okay? And it was genetically engineered not to get HIV virus, the AIDS virus, okay? However you can do that. They've claimed a lot of things. In Mexico, they have, created a baby from 3 different parents, I believe, or fathers. I don't know if it's whatever it was, but in Mexico, with all their starving people, crying and moaning about the caravans coming through their neighborhood. Yeah. Well, in any case, the scientist who created the genetically modified babies has gone missing. Yeah, so this photo, Jianku, a Chinese researcher, speaks during the Human Genome Editing Conference in Hong Kong. He made his first public comments about his claim to have helped make the world's first gene-edited babies. On November 25th, young scientist researcher became the center of a global firestorm when it was discovered that he had allegedly made the first CRISPR-edited genetically modified human babies, twin girls named Lulu and Nana. Since the story broke, many have balked at the ethics of such an experiment, and he has gone missing. Okay, apparently, this is another story, but I do believe this this baby that they held up in the picture anyway. I believe it was on Natural News. Could have been. Hold up for this HIV. I'm trying to preventative. I don't know what word I'm trying to use there. But anyway, so yeah, CRISPR. I mean, we all should know what this CRISPR is. It's just, I don't even know if I can explain it, except that it's a program to genetically modify DNA to get whatever kind of baby you want. Blue eye, brown eye, stronger, faster, can leap buildings in a single bound. Yeah. No capes. No capes. Don't need a cape. Don't need a phone booth. Yeah. Just use the CRISPR. Just use the CRISPR. So anyways, gone missing. Why? Don't know. Where? Of course, nobody knows. Obviously, I think people on both sides would like to know what happened to him and why he's gone. Okay, this from News Punch. Democrat, Republican boast she helped migrant caravan enter U.S. I have not done any real stories on the caravan for at least a few days. But there are bits and pieces that, like this one right here. Caravan enter the U.S. Are they in the U.S. now? I heard that there's still stuff going on in Tijuana, and the mayor over there is pretty upset and is going to seek I don't know, some kind, maybe some damages, money. I don't know. So Democrat, whatever, Republican Pramila Jayapal, how do you pronounce that? She's a Democrat out of Washington, has confessed that she has helped the caravan migrants, including unaccompanied children, gain entry to the U.S. after they were denied at the border by immigration officials. Maybe this was another caravan. There are a couple caravans that we keep talking about, right? Maybe one, I guess they got a couple caravans just to try and confuse us to where the main caravan or whatever it is. In any case, the wall's going up. And yeah, no more news of tanks being brought down there or these sonic weapons on top of these MRAPs or whatever you want to call them, these personnel carriers. Haven't heard anything about that, so I don't know if that's good or bad. But anyways, yeah, well, there's all kind. Yeah, Democrat, goes figure, Democrat. They're just so far on this left side. I've never really understood this politics stuff, this left, this right, the conservative, all this stuff. But it's clicking pretty quick. I really don't want to know this information, but can't help it. It's in the news every day. Let's just move on. Move on. Activist post. Senator demands proof that 5G is safe. And so does the National Institute for Science, Law, and Public Policy. So who says 5G is safe? One comment I want to make right here, okay, for anybody, okay? My provider right now, my internet provider, is called Frontier, okay? We're so unhappy about the prices from Cox Cable that we went to another provider. And when we first called them, okay, they told us one price. And then we said, okay, and we went and canceled, returned our boxes and got Frontier. And then, of course, the prices are different. They didn't include taxes and fees and NFL football ticket, which I don't have on my TV, but they're charging me anyway $6 for. Stuff like that. But 2 weeks prior to us doing all this, there was actually a lady came to my door. She looked, like India, like she was from India. I guess you call them Indians. And just not, Native American Indian. She is an Indian from India. I don't see how you can possibly get in trouble for what I just said, but somebody will find out a way to be offended. Yeah, that's where we're going. Everybody's offended about everything. And the Bible talks about that. It's in the Bible. Yeah. People will be offended and people will... Anyway. Who says five? Well, anyways, this lady, okay, I got off track. This lady said, and I probably mentioned this before, that there's 5G on our poles right now. I told her there's no way there's 5G in our poles. She says, yeah, they were put in a couple years ago, or something like that, or last year. It's on the pole already. No way, lady. I was out of work. When I'm out of work, I listen to every car that goes by. I can hear every truck that pulls up or any work that's going on in a, 2-street radius. So she completely lies, okay? Because they don't have 5G. Frontier doesn't have 5G. No. 5G's not here yet. But it is in other places. And we've done news on some of the testing that's been going on, okay? Not good. Well, that's a plane going in another direction. Of course, right over my house, right? Yeah, I'm not nervous. Not nervous at all. They want to fly over my house at night and scare the heck out of me, make loud noises, pretend like they're hovering over the house. Go ahead. When they really messed with my programs the other day, so I know you're there. I know about Windows 10 and spyware. All right, delete what you want. I'll just do it again. I'm patient. Not normally, but I can be. So anyways, they lied about this. Now this senator, gotta find out who he is in this article, because we gotta listen for that name and see whether he disappears or she disappears. Blumenthal presses FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr to disclose evidence of 5G safety. Published yesterday on Business Wire. Who is the senator? Is that Blumenthal? I believe it used to be Attorney General here. But anyways, look out. Senator Richard Blumenthal, Democrat of Connecticut. Yeah, he did not do a good job as Attorney General. Yeah, he stole $5,000 from me is what he did. Anyways, that's another story. So yeah, I mean, really, you gotta look for this guy to maybe disappear for a while or never be heard from again, but still doing his job. Maybe they'll put a clone in his place. Yeah. So anyways, to provide documentation substantiating the commissioner's remarks defending 5G safety, defending the safety. While birds, starlings, bats, and everything else are falling out of the trees next to these 5G tests that they've been conducting. So, anyways, needless to say, we're not going to go into the 5G thing again. If you want to do that, there's plenty of other better videos out there that go into this 5G. They do a lot better job of it than I could. And one of them, I don't know, I'm not going to mention the name. You find them, just go Google it or go type it in the, YouTube video page. Believe me, you'll have plenty of them. And you should be up to date on it because you do not want 5G. What is her name? Not Jan Markell. Maybe it is. There are two particular people out there that do it quite a bit and talk about the frequencies involved, the microwave status. This is actually microwaves being, pointed at wherever these things, these antennas are. And a lot of them are going to be pointing at you. You know what microwaves do, right? I mean, they cook your food from the inside out. They kill every good nutrient in anything that you're eating from the microwave. It does. That's why I've heard this. So I'm starting to cook outside the microwave and not be lazy. Yeah, always in a rush, lazy, and prepared foods, which is really more poison that you're taking in. You're not only cooking these things and taking all the nutrients out, but you're eating stuff that really doesn't have a lot of the nutrients anyway, or it's just got other poisons in them, other chemicals, okay, man-made chemicals. Buy 5G. We don't need 5G. My internet's fast enough. Even if I doubled the capacity of what I have right now, it'd still be fast enough. It's the other things that you need, faster processors in your computer and more memory. Other than that, it's plenty fast enough. They want 5G for something else. And you know what the, world global elite want? One world order, and they want it by submission. Threats. They poison you, they weaken you, they poison your air and your water so that you're so, I don't know, what do you call it? Besides being dormant, you're just, you have no ambition. And even if you do and you're screaming at it from the inside to come out, you can't move. This is what these things are doing. And it's been going on since the 70s, since I was a teenager. At least since then. All right, people, this is from the week. The first self-driving taxi service just launched in Arizona. And you know what? I was looking for a drier climate, warmer, more, temperate place to live because I can really not stand New England anymore. I don't like the cold anymore. I don't know. But Arizona, scorpions, snakes, Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll stick to the ticks and the moles and little mosquitoes instead of, you know, huge ones. So, flying cars that Back into the Future Part 2 predicted would arrive by 2015 may have never come, but robot taxis are now officially a thing. First commercial self-driving taxi service launched Wednesday in Phoenix, Arizona. That's today, Wednesday. Google subsidiary. Yeah, from Google. Yeah, one is one of the ride-hailing service, Waymo. Essentially like Uber or Lyft, except that the car that arrives to pick you up doesn't have a human behind the seat inside of it. I wouldn't get into one of them. I've heard that depending on what they're looking at. Heard that I heard about the accidents that they've had with these non-driver, with the humanless cars, and I would not get into one. I'm sure it's something that's going to come in the future. I mean, all of us are going to be out of a job. Some of us will be working in the industries to, maintain maybe, these vehicles. But they'll probably get robots for that as well. And according to Elon Musk, yeah, we'll all be under, at least the living ones anyway, the 500 million that will be left will be on a universal income, according to Elon Musk. Yep, that's what they would have to do because there's no work for you. I don't know what we would be doing besides, sitting at computers and having these black and white spirals just going round and round and round. And that's all you do is stare at it all day and eat because these machines, they do need organic material to keep going. I don't like where this is going. My wife is a George Jetson era type person. She was born, at least a century too early. And I was born a century, well, maybe not a century, maybe about 50, 60 years too late. Yeah. I think that, I find some kind of peace and attraction to the frontier type of, the West, the log cabin and open prairies, kind of guy. Maybe even a mountaintop, No, my wife is a push button for everything that you need done, and that's it. Just wait for somebody to deliver it. That's about it. And so let's move on. Solar storm from Express. This is from the Express, home of the Daily and Sunday Express. Solar storm predicted for today, threatening blackout. Well, so far, folks, there is, to my knowledge, of course, did hear from someone that there was a big Facebook outage, but that may not necessarily be attributed to this solar storm. They've blacked it out in parts before. Facebook, YouTube, even. Of course, it's gone and past the 24th of that warning that went out. I guess it was, I don't know if it was the Black Patriot or not. No, it was maybe some other guy. Came on there and warned that he was the cause of the blackout for YouTube and Facebook and warned them, or Google warned them, that if they didn't change their ways, that it would be bigger and better the next time. And that's passed. And it was a December 5th today, roundabout time, date that was set for the economic collapse. Of course, it's still 6:30, and I guess I don't know if they're ahead of us or behind us. Probably ahead of us. The stock exchange and over there in China and Japan, that area, Far East. Anyways, Another date again came and gone, and nothing happens. Why do people have to keep continuing to give dates? Does that keep us all, on our toes and our eyes peeled for something? I mean, does it keep us going? Do we need those dates to keep us getting up in the morning? I mean, really, do they? Come on. They shouldn't. No, those dates, if you think about it, and, why would anybody want to think about a month in advance some date that's going to supposedly, bring Armageddon or financial collapse of the world and World War III? I mean, why would you want to sit around and wait a month for that? I don't know. Why would you want to do that when you can have peace today? When you can have hope and peace today? Why would you wait around for doom and gloom? I don't get some of you people. I think you just bring it upon yourself. I don't know why. You're tortured enough in this world, this crazy, wicked, dark, world, man. It's torturing everybody now. So why would you want to bring more upon yourself? Go look at what can bring you peace and hope. Come on, man. This is from the Activist Post. Ukraine and Russia. Tensions escalate again as Ukraine president accuses Russia of 80,000 troops in Crimea. U.S. NATO warns Russia to stop violating the INF treaty. Was that the treaty that Trump has pulled out of? That was some other global initiative type thing. Anyway, yeah. If they want to ever start a war, I mean, that's a good spot. I mean, Spratly Islands, that's another good spot in the South China Sea. I guess it didn't spark enough in the Middle East, all those other wars, so you need a little bit more. I mean, will Israel start it? Will Iran start it? Who knows? But from the News Punch, U.S. is sending rumors of wars, people, rumors of wars. Wars and rumors of wars. And seeing that we've been at war since what? 2001, 2002, something like that. Yeah, it was like a year after the Y2K scare, and before the what was that? The 2012 scare. End of the apocalypse or the beginning of the apocalypse. The ancient Mayans. Remember that? Yeah, people have been waiting for doomsday for a long, long time. Even the apostles asked Jesus, when will the end be? What will be the signs of the end times? And he told them. There's more for us to learn there. So, U.S. sent an aircraft carrier to the Persian Gulf in show of force against Iran, who today launching nuke-capable missiles capable of obliterating Europe. Okay? I don't know who the DOS is, Warren's Department of something. I can't even read it down here. So anyways, Iran is testing nuclear weapons, if they have nuclear weapons. I mean, I think they do, people. They've been, making hard water, which is some kind of nuclear processing, in that processing thing, that thingy, that whatchamacallit. Yeah, hard waters. Yeah, and they've been selling extra, which was against one of those rules in the nuclear program that they signed that Trump withdrew from. And so now, yeah, I mean, they're testing these missiles. I mean, I think that they have nukes because I believe that they were the ones that were helping North Korea in 2000, was it 5 or 2009, when they had that train accident on or just off the bridge, which had nuclear material on it. These people were in hazmat suits, and that was the headline anyway. You know, it could have been propaganda. Who knows? They've been feeding us propaganda since the day we were all born. Yep, probably since the day I was born. Probably started it back in 33, maybe before that. Capable of reaching mainland Europe and Britain. Yeah. And they've talked about this, wiping Israel off the map, being able to, once they got these missiles and they know that, once they test them, how far they can go, now all they have to do is put some kind of guidance system on it and then fire it into Israel. And then there you got World War III. Okay? They may be able to fire over Israel, but it's not going to land. Israel will take it down well before it gets there. But that will start World War III too. Okay? Rumors of war. Okay, confirmed Iran. Yeah, violates United Nations treaty. Test fires multiple nuclear-capable ballistic missiles. Okay, so Iran is in trouble. It's going to, how much more can they be sanctioned? I mean, that's what this whole thing is about. That's what America does to many countries, and why they aren't sanctioned, why we aren't sanctioned ourselves for some of the things that our leaders tell our military to do, or vice versa. We intrude in a lot of these countries where we shouldn't be going. But because we're a superpower, yeah, so we can get away with that. And then go and sanction these poor little countries, out of, what little they do have, and then make them go crazy and do stupid stuff like this. No, I don't know. I do not like the idea. I mean, who knows? There's been talk about the Iran people. Okay, they don't like their leadership, and some have even tried to overthrow it, get rid of it. They don't hate Americans. The people don't. And I don't hate Iranians. I don't hate Chinese people. I don't hate anybody, really. Just because they're different. But in any case. Yeah. So let's move on for that. We got plenty of rumors of wars. Oh, look at that. I just lost everything. Isn't that special? There we go. Wrong button. Wrong button. Anyways, from the News Punch, Tim Cook, whoever the heck he is, conspiracy theorists must be banished from the internet. Apple CEO Tim Cook says that dangerous conspiracy theorists have no place on the internet or on Apple platforms. Wow, these people really get big heads when they get a lot of money, right? Money, and we were just talking about that today. Money corrupts, big time. Big time. And that's another thing that I'm going to include at the end of this, is why, and actually we're almost done, is why this person, who's definitely making a lot of money now and is on TV now, okay, what the things that come out of her mouth. Anyway, we'll be there in a minute. And this is good news. Good news. Over 100 child sex traffickers arrested in Florida. But that is great news. It is. Even if it's just one, it's great news. But you know what the sad thing is? This, from News Punch also. 800,000 children missing in the U.S. each year. Pedophilia epidemic sweeping the globe. And we thought that we have a war going on with them, right? We thought, we're finding out all these, traffickers now, and we're arresting them and putting them in jail now and freeing the little ones and freeing the women and, humans from being trafficked for sex. 800,000 children missing each year. Today we get 100 of. Doesn't even talk about children getting back. It just talks about 100 traffickers. How many you need to handle 800,000 people. This is global. It is global. This is the world that we've lived in. That Satan, decided that, that's his type of thing. Yeah, he's a molester. It's a molester, whoever you want to call it. Yeah, he only wants to kill, steal, and destroy you. That's it. You want to live in a world that was made and manipulated and formed after him? Man, you've got to be looking for something else, don't you? I would think so. And this is old news, but I wanted to mention it. This Bill Gates guy, okay? This guy should be locked up somewhere in some sanatorium. He has gone overboard. It's it. He's reached that part where he's just totally, devoid of any common sense or natural affection for people. So Bill Gates announces his plans, and I had this on the news the other day, to use chemtrails to solve global warming. I couldn't find the other article. I was looking for it yesterday and today, but I couldn't find it. But he also wants to figure out how to set a volcano off big enough to throw all this dust and debris up into the air to cover and blanket the sun. We all know what that did in the 1800s. It changed the growing season and food production and everything else. This guy, he's probably one of the top 3 of this elite group, and he's blatantly coming out here and saying what he wants to do. They're already talking about aerosol injection into the upper stratosphere. Not just the chemtrails, but doing more higher up. And now he wants to set volcanoes off. Let's just put him in a cell, maybe a padded one. Call it crimes thought against humanity, okay? Before he actually commits them. He's probably the ones that had this Georgia Guidestone thing set up. Well, he had his 10 commandments, okay? One of them being, I don't know if it said having or getting the population down to a manageable 500 million. But you would have to destroy 6 billion people in order to do that. How do you do that? Well, if you went out and had a world war with all nuclear weapons, that 500 million probably would not even last. Unless they took them all down into the bunker, however long it takes for this radiation to dissipate. And that would take years, wouldn't you think? 50, 100 years, depending on what whether they can manipulate the weather and make this stuff move around and, filter out and dissipate quicker. Who knows? I'm pretty good with thinking up possibilities these people might do. Anyways, Chemtrail Power. New study calls for global stratospheric aerosol injection by 2030s. I guarantee you they're doing it now. If they're going to tell you that they're doing it, they've already been doing it. Okay? They want to go way up there and just chemtrail it. Let's get to this last one here, okay? This last story. Signs of the Last Days. Grammy nominated, and she had there was another article about her 2 days ago, maybe yesterday. It was Grammy nominated Christian, okay? Christian, quote unquote, doubt it. Singer Can't Say, and that was my favorite song too. And now I have to delete it. That was one of my favorite songs, Say, and unfortunately it has to go. And she, I can't say if sodomy is a sin. She can't say whether being gay is a sin. Okay, well, what is a sin, right? What is a sin? I guess a sin is anything that is not Christ-like. Transgression of the laws. See, this is probably where she's got a slight point, but she mentions it for other reasons. Because everybody has their own little meaning of what sin is, okay? And sin originally was the Ten Commandments. Those were his laws, not including the statutes and everything else that the Jewish people decided to come up with for themselves. And there were other things that the Lord came up with that we're not privy to, but the Ten Commandments. Those are his laws. And anything else, I mean, if you're morally responsible, or I don't know, I believe that you have a moral compass in you when you're born, and it's kind of built, I don't know, being taught by the right people. I don't want to get into all that, but she says this, she can't say if it's a sin. But she says that because she has a lot of friends who, well, let's just read this a little bit. Ellen DeGeneres show, which, Ellen is obviously blatantly out there claiming, that she is gay. Okay, so I don't hate the person. I hate the sin. I hate the act. What they. Anyways, I'm going to read. Go to Romans. Oh, let's go to Ephesians 5:7. Ephesians 5:7. Be not ye therefore partakers with them. And that wasn't it. Let's go to 2 Corinthians. Hold on. I believe it's 2 Corinthians 6:17. Start there. Wherefore come out of the, that's not it either, but I'll read it anyway. 6:17. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, said the Lord, and touch not that unclean thing, and I will receive you. And there was something else up here. I think it was 1 Corinthians. No, that wasn't it either. I wrote it down. We'll go to Romans 1:24. Romans 1:24. Something about, this God's wrath of unrighteousness. And it starts in Romans 1:18, but I want to go maybe start at 24. Romans 1:24. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worshiped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one towards another, men with men, working with that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, and disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who know in the judgment of God that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them to do them. Come on. You're telling me, Laura, that you do not know whether it's a sin or not? It's against the nature of what God created. Okay? That's what it is. And from now until she either repents or admits that they are sins and that she repents. Otherwise, to me, she's not a Christian. And I'm not going to listen to this music. I can't listen to it anymore. I have to separate myself from her music. It's most unfortunate because I love her voice. I love the person, but she has to admit to the sin. And yeah, don't we all do that? Accept sin because we have friends who are sinning? Love the person but hate the sin, but remain with them? We are to separate ourselves from them. Are we not? Somebody tell me that that's not true. Why? I don't think it's good for our minds if we're going to be around these sinners all the time. I mean, eventually, it's going to affect your mind as well, whether you take captive your thoughts or not. How can you take captive your thoughts in a situation like that when everyone or a majority of them or just two or three, whatever, are committing this sin right in front of you or behind you or behind whatever? So that's it, man. I'm going to have to remind myself to get in there and delete these songs from Laura Daigle from Louisiana. Following Daigle's recent stint on secular entertainment shows like the Ellen DeGeneres Show, Degenerate, Nady said he wanted to ask her about stance as a Christian on the Sodom lifestyle and whether it's a sin. Okay. Daigle told the celebrity publicist that she could not answer that since she has too many people that she loves living with that lifestyle. She said, I can't say one way or the other. I'm not God. You don't have to be God in order to know what sin and what is not Christ-like. I mean, I'm just going on the assumption that if it's not Christ-like, if it's something Christ wouldn't do, you don't do it. I don't know whether it's what level. I mean, sin is sin. I mean, every level, sin it creates the same punishment, death. And that's why Jesus came and died for us, so that we couldn't be held responsible for sinning because it's in our nature. Not because we do it on purpose. We're to stop doing it on purpose. We're to repent of these sins. We are. And believe me, if you're not repentant, there's no hope. How can you have hope? And, the thought of living forever with Christ in paradise, how can you have that hope if you have all this sin around you? If you're constantly, day by day, surrounded by this sin, you have to separate yourself. It's too easy to fall, and it'll be your own fault. Yes, Jesus will forgive you if you repent. And believe me, he knows your heart. So he knows if you're just repenting just because somebody said to repent, and whether you're repenting, because you're really sorry that you've sinned. Anyways, it's a good discussion for a Saturday or Sunday, and I would like to talk about it more. Because a lot of us are doing these things. There's a couple things that I've found myself doing that I have to get away from. And I know it's very hard. Very hard indeed. We just ask the Holy Spirit to help us and guide us each day that because we can't do it of our own self, and they can't. I cannot do anything on my own. I mess up everything. Everything I mess up. It may go good for a couple days, and then you'll finally get the, self syndrome on full throttle, and then next thing you know, you turn away because something caught your mind, you're distracted a little bit, and then you just all out crash into a wall. How that's the best way I can describe it. Dang. Yeah. We don't have, I don't anyway. So, anyways, that's it for tonight. We'll see you again Friday unless something of an emergency comes up. Other than that, you know, keep an eye on your loved ones. Don't let them, don't let them get out there in the world. Hold them back. I don't mean hold them back. I just, you know, grab hold of them, love them, hold them, hug them. Let them know that you love them. Let them know that you forgive them for anything they may have done, anything that you may have done. Ask for their forgiveness, and mean it. Why wouldn't you mean it? Family is so important. As you go out and you become Christians, you understand that you get an extended family, and you realize how important that love is for one another, and not only to, you know, to have that love, but to show that love. It's hard for some of us because we don't normally know how to do these things, and so I'm learning right along with you how to love, you know, again differently, agape love. The other love, everyone else knows about it. You know, constant, yeah, I love you, yeah, I love you, and it doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. Agape love, God's love, and we can have that love. He gives us all, I would hope, a little portion of it to see how you can, you know, what you will do with that. I believe that wholeheartedly. That's one of the gifts that I was received anyway when I accepted Him. Uh, I just am trying to extend that out to as many people as I can, that they can, you know, show them it. I mean, they can have that too. They can have all the hope in the world, and with that comes peace. And wouldn't that be something? Peace without war. Peace with love. Wow. All right. God bless you, everyone. Have a great evening. Peace out. Oh, no way. Did I not have sound again? I did. Guess that's still showing.